Today, we're going to talk about something that will fundamentally shift the way you experience reality itself. You see, most people walk through life believing they're at the mercy of circumstances. They believe that reality happens to them. But I'm here to tell you something that might sound radical, something that might challenge everything you've been taught. You are not the victim of your reality. You are the creator of it. Let me start with the most important truth you'll ever hear. Your consciousness is the only reality. Everything you see, everything you experience, everything that shows up in your world is a reflection of the state of consciousness you occupy. The world doesn't create your consciousness creates your world. Think about that for a moment. Really let it sink in. You are not a small, powerless being in a vast, indifferent universe. You are the universe expressing itself through a unique focal point of awareness. You are the operant power in your reality. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. But what about all the terrible things happening in the world? What about my struggles? What about the circumstances I can't control? This is where we must be very clear. You didn't create the whole world, but you created your world. You created your experience of the world, and here's the magnificent news. If you created it, you can uncreate it and recreate it anew. Right now, today, in this very moment. The secret to changing your life lies in understanding one simple principle. Assumption hardens into fact. Whatever you assume to be true about yourself, about others, about your life, will inevitably externalize itself in your world. Your assumptions create the patterns, and reality rushes in to fill those patterns. Most people have this backwards. They say, "I'll believe it when I see it," but the truth is the exact opposite. You'll see it when you believe it. You must first assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled before your world can reorganize itself to match that assumption. Let me give you an example. If you assume you are unlucky, if you walk through life with the consciousness of limitation and lack, reality must reflect that back to you. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because that's the law. Consciousness is the only reality, and reality conforms to consciousness. But here's where it gets exciting. If you begin to assume abundance, if you begin to feel yourself wealthy before you have physical evidence of wealth, if you occupy the state of consciousness of your wish already fulfilled, the universe has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your assumption. This isn't magic. This isn't wishful thinking. This is the fundamental law of existence. This brings us to one of the most powerful techniques you will ever learn: living in the end. Living in the end means occupying the state of consciousness you would have if your desire were already fulfilled. Not hoping for it, not wishing for it, not trying to get it, but feeling it as an accomplished fact. You see, the universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. And what you are is determined by the state of consciousness you habitually occupy. If you want to be successful, you must feel successful now. If you want to be loved, you must feel loved now. If you want to be free, you must feel free now. But how can I feel wealthy when my bank account is empty, you might ask? How can I feel healthy when my body is sick? How can I feel loved when I'm alone? And this is the bridge you must cross. This is where faith comes in. Not blind faith, but the faith that comes from understanding the law. You don't need to know how your desire will come to pass. You don't need to figure out the path. Your job is not to manipulate circumstances or force solutions. Your only job is to occupy the state of consciousness of your wish fulfilled and persist to that assumption. The universe will take care of the how. Reality will reorganize itself in ways you cannot predict or imagine. Now let's talk about feeling, because this is where most people get confused. When I say feel your wish fulfilled, I don't mean emotional excitement or temporary enthusiasm. I mean the quiet, calm knowing that it is done. I mean the deep inner conviction that characterizes your awareness of any fact in your life. How do you feel about the fact that you exist? There's no emotional charge to it. It's just a simple, calm knowing. That's the feeling you want to cultivate about your desire. Not desperate wanting, not anxious hoping, but calm assumption, quiet certainty, the feeling of it is done. This is why prayer is not about asking or begging. Prayer is the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When you pray, you don't pray to God as if God was separate from you. You pray from the consciousness of God, which is your own wonderful human imagination. You enter into the feeling of your wish already realized, and you remain in that feeling until it takes on the tones of reality. Your imagination is not fantasy. Your imagination is not make-believe. Your imagination is the divine creative power within you. It is God in action. When you imagine something, when you assume it to be true in your imagination, you are planting a seed in the invisible realm of consciousness. And like any seed, it must eventually push through into the visible world and become a physical fact. The whole vast world is nothing more than your imaginal activity pushed out. Everything you see around you, every building, every invention, every relationship, every circumstance, first existed as an imaginal act in someone's consciousness before it became a physical reality. So when you imagine your desire fulfilled, you are not pretending. You're not fooling yourself. You're engaging in the most creative, most powerful act available to you. You're using the same power that brought the entire universe into being. You're using the power of consciousness itself. But what about the past? What about all the mistakes, all the regrets, all the things that went wrong? This is where something beautiful happens. The past is not fixed. The past is simply a memory, and memory is part of your consciousness. And since consciousness is the only reality, you can change the past by changing your memory of it. This doesn't mean you're denying what happened. It means you're refusing to allow the past to continue creating your future. Every night, before you fall asleep, you can revise the day. If something unpleasant happened, you can replay it in your imagination, the way you wished it had happened. You can feel it differently. And in doing so, you change its influence on your future. This is the true meaning of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about condoning bad behavior. It's not about pretending you weren't hurt. Forgiveness is about revising the memory so that it no longer has power over you. It's about freeing yourself from the past so that you can create a new future. When you truly understand this, you realize that you're never stuck. You're never trapped by circumstances, no matter what has happened, no matter how dire things may seem. You can always change your state of consciousness and thereby change your reality. Isn't that liberating? Doesn't that fill you with hope? Pay attention to your inner conversations. Pay attention to the dialogue that runs through your mind all day long. Are you telling yourself stories of limitation? Are you rehearsing problems? Are you arguing with invisible adversaries? Or are you speaking to yourself from the consciousness of your wish fulfilled? Your inner conversations are incredibly powerful. They are the means by which you impress your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is the fertile soil in which all seeds of consciousness must be planted before they can grow into physical facts. Start monitoring your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking thoughts that don't align with your desired reality, stop. Revise them. Replace them with thoughts that assume your wish fulfilled. If you catch yourself thinking, I can't afford this, immediately revise it to, I can afford anything I desire. If you catch yourself thinking, nobody loves me, revise it to, I am so loved. At first, this might feel like lying to yourself. But remember, there is no objective reality outside of your consciousness. There is only your perception, your assumption, your state of being. So you're not lying. You're choosing which reality you want to occupy. Now, I want to be very clear about something. This work requires persistence. You can't just assume your wish fulfilled once and then immediately return to your old state of consciousness. You must persist in the assumption. You must remain faithful to the new state. There will be moments when the physical senses scream at you that nothing has changed. There will be moments when doubt creeps in. There will be moments when you're tempted to return to your old ways of thinking. This is natural. This is part of the process. But this is where your faith is tested. True faith is remaining loyal to the unseen reality, while the seen reality still appears unchanged. True faith is persisting in the assumption of your wish fulfilled, even when there's no physical evidence. True faith is knowing that consciousness is the only reality, and that the physical world must eventually conform to your sustained assumption. How long must you persist? Until it feels natural. Until it feels real. Until there's no longer any separation between your desired state and your actual state of consciousness. This might take days or weeks or months, but I promise you, if you persist, the physical world must and will conform. Let me tell you something that might sound strange at first. There is no one to change but self. Every person you encounter, every situation you face, every circumstance you experience is a mirror reflecting your own state of consciousness back to you. If you want someone to change your concept of them. If you want your boss to appreciate you, assume they appreciate you. If you want your partner to be more loving, assume they are loving. Don't try to change them directly. Change your consciousness of them, and they must change. They have no choice. They're only reflecting your consciousness. This is why trying to manipulate circumstances never works in the long run. This is why pushing and forcing and struggling is exhausting and ultimately futile. The universe is not outside of you. The universe is within you. It is your own wonderful human imagination pushed out. When you truly understand this, you realize that you have all the power. Not power over others, but power over your own consciousness, which is the only power that matters. Change your consciousness, and you change your world. I want you to imagine something with me right now. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, knowing with absolute certainty that you can have anything you desire. Imagine the feeling of complete freedom from limitation. Imagine knowing that the universe is not a vast, indifferent place, but is actually your own consciousness pushed out, responsive to your every assumption. How does that feel? Can you feel the weight lifting off your shoulders? Can you feel the expansion in your chest? Can you feel the possibilities opening up before you? That feeling, that sense of freedom and power and possibility, that is your natural state. That is who you really are. You are not a limited being having a human experience. You are infinite consciousness having a temporary experience in a physical body. You are the creator of your reality. You are the operant power. You are God in action. And here's the most beautiful part. This is not something you need to earn or deserve or work toward. This is already who you are. You just need to remember it. You just need to stop believing in limitation and start believing in your own infinite creative power. So how do you actually apply all of this? How do you actually change your life? Let me give you a simple process you can start using today. First, get clear on what you want. Not what you think you should want, not what others want for you. What do you truly desire? Don't censor yourself. Don't limit yourself. Your imagination is infinite, so let yourself imagine freely. Second, create a scene that implies your wish is already fulfilled. This scene should be short and simple. Should be something that would naturally happen after your desire manifests. For example, if you want a new home, you might imagine a friend congratulating you on your beautiful new house. If you want a loving relationship, you might imagine your partner saying, "I love you," as you fall asleep together. Third, enter into this scene with your imagination. Make it as vivid and as real as possible. Feel yourself in the scene. What would you see? What would you hear? What would you feel physically? Engage all your senses. And most importantly, feel the emotion of the wish fulfilled. Feel the relief, the joy, the satisfaction, the naturalness of it. Fourth, repeat this imaginal act every night before you fall asleep. The state between waking and sleeping is particularly powerful because your conscious mind is relaxed and your subconscious is highly receptive. Plant your seed in that twilight state, and then fall asleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Fifth, throughout your day, monitor your thoughts and feelings. Whenever you catch yourself slipping back into the old state of lack or limitation, gently redirect yourself. Remind yourself that it is done. Remind yourself of the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Keep returning to that state. And finally, let go of the how. Don't try to figure out how your desire will manifest. Don't try to force solutions or manipulate circumstances. Trust the law. Trust that consciousness is the only reality, and that reality must conform to your sustained assumption. Your job is to remain faithful to the state. The universe's job is to provide the means. I know this might sound too good to be true. I know this might challenge everything you've been taught about how reality works. But I invite you to test it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Don't just believe it because it sounds nice. Prove it to yourself. Start small if you need to. Assume something simple and watch it manifest. Maybe assume that you'll receive good news today. Maybe assume that someone will contact you. Maybe assume that you'll find money unexpectedly. Plant the seed with your imagination. Persist in the assumption and watch what happens. And as you begin to see results, as you begin to see your assumptions harden into facts, your faith will grow, your understanding will deepen, and you'll realize that you've had this power all along. You've just forgotten how to use it. You see, We live in a world that constantly tells us we are powerless. We're told that we're victims of circumstance, victims of the economy, victims of our past, victims of other people's choices. We're told to play small, to be realistic, to lower our expectations. But all of that is a lie. The truth is that you are the most powerful creator in your universe. The truth is that your consciousness is the only reality. The truth is that you can have, be, or do anything you can imagine. Not because I say so, but because that's the law. That's how consciousness works. And here's what makes this so beautiful. When you truly understand this principle, when you truly embrace your power as a creator, life becomes joyful. It becomes playful. It becomes an adventure. You're no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You're no longer worried about what might happen or what might go wrong. You're no longer afraid because you know that you are the operant power. You know that you can create anything you desire simply by assuming it to be true. This doesn't mean life becomes easy or that you never face challenges, but it means you face those challenges from a completely different state of consciousness. You face them knowing that you have the power to transform them. You face them knowing that they are simply reflecting an old state of consciousness that you can change there at any moment. Imagine living with that level of freedom. Imagine waking up every morning excited about what you're going to create. Imagine moving through your day, knowing that everything is working out for you because you are the one making it work out. Imagine falling asleep every night, feeling satisfied, fulfilled, and grateful because you've spent the day creating your desired reality. That's the life that's available to you. Not someday. Not when you're good enough or worthy enough or evolved enough. Right now, today. In this very moment. You know what the real secret is. The real secret is that there is no limit to what you can create. There is no ceiling to your good. There is no quota on your desires. You can have everything you want and more. The universe is infinite, and you are the universe experiencing itself. So stop playing small. Stop settling for crumbs when you can have the whole feast. Stop asking for permission when you have all the authority you need within your own consciousness. Stop waiting for the right time, because the right time is always now. Your imagination is the workshop of creation. Everything that has ever been created, everything that will ever be created, exists first in imagination. And your imagination is unlimited. It knows no boundaries except the ones you impose on it. So dare to imagine bigger. Dare to assume greater things for yourself. Dare to occupy states of consciousness that seem impossible from where you currently stand. Because here's the truth. The impossible is just the possible that hasn't manifested yet. And it will manifest if you persist in the assumption of its reality. You're not learning something new today. You're remembering something you've always known. Deep within you, beneath all the conditioning and the limiting beliefs, you know that you are infinite. You know that you are powerful. You know that you are the creator of your reality. All I'm doing is reminding you. All I'm doing is pointing you back to your own magnificent self. All I'm doing is showing you the power you've had all along. So go forth from this moment with a new awareness. Go forth knowing that you are the operant power in your reality. Go forth knowing that your assumptions create your experience. Go forth knowing that you can change your entire life by changing your consciousness. Stop begging the universe. Stop trying to manipulate circumstances. Stop giving your power away to conditions, to other people, to the past. Come back to yourself. Come back to your imagination. Come back to the simple truth that consciousness is the only reality. And from that place of power, from that place of knowing, begin to create deliberately. Begin to assume the states you wish to experience. Begin to feel your desires as already fulfilled. Begin to live in the end. The universe must obey you, not because you're forcing it or manipulating it, but because you are it. The universe is your own consciousness pushed out. Change your consciousness, and you change your universe. It's that simple, it's that powerful, it's that true. So, right now, in this very moment, make a decision. Decide that you are done living as a victim of circumstance. Decide that you are ready to embrace your power as a creator. Decide that you are going to test this principle and prove it to yourself. Choose one thing you desire. Just one thing. Make it something important to you. something that would genuinely improve your life. Now, instead of wanting it, or wishing for it, or hoping for it, assume you already have it. Feel what it would feel like if it were already yours. Imagine a scene that implies its fulfillment, and persist in that assumption. Don't let doubt talk you out of it. Don't let the evidence of your senses convince you it's not working. Don't let time pressure you into giving up. Just persist. Remain faithful to the unseen reality. Keep occupying the state of your wish fulfilled, and watch what happens. Watch as circumstances begin to shift. Watch as opportunities appear. Watch as the universe rearranges itself to match your assumption. Because it must. It has no choice. Consciousness is the only reality, and reality conforms to consciousness. This is law. You are so much more powerful than you've been led to believe. You are so much more capable than you've been taught. You are so much more creative than you've allowed yourself to remember. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. You are not a small part of the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself from a unique perspective. You are not separate from the creative power of life. You are that creative power. And when you truly accept this, when you truly embody this, when you truly live from this knowing, everything changes. Not because the world changes, but because you change. And when you change, your world has no choice but to reflect that change back to you. This is the secret to changing your life. This is how you make the universe obey you. This is how you make reality what you want it to be. Not through force, not through struggle, not through manipulation, but through the simple, profound, powerful act of assuming your wish fulfilled and persisting in that assumption. You have everything you need within you right now. You don't need to wait. You don't need to prepare. You don't need to become someone different. You just need to remember who you really are and start creating from that place of power. So I invite you to step into your power. I invite you to embrace your role as the creator of your reality. I invite you to use your imagination deliberately and watch as your entire life transforms. The universe is waiting for your command. Your consciousness is ready to create. Your imagination is eager to manifest. All you have to do is assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and persist. Your new life starts now. Your transformation begins today. Everything you've ever wanted is waiting for you in consciousness. All you have to do is claim it. Go forth and create deliberately, consciously, powerfully. Go forth and prove to yourself that you are the operant power. Go forth and live the life you've always dreamed of. Because you can. Because the law says you can. Because consciousness is the only reality and you are consciousness itself. This is your birthright. This is your power. This is your truth. The life you've always wanted. The abundance you've always desired. The love you've always craved. The freedom you've always sought. It's all available to you right now. It's all waiting in consciousness. It's all ready to be claimed by you the moment you assume it as yours. Think about how different your life could be just 1 month from now if you truly applied these principles. Think about how transformed your reality could become if you spent the next 30 days living in the end, feeling your wishes fulfilled, persisting in your new assumptions. What if the job you've been dreaming of suddenly became available? What if the relationship you've been longing for suddenly manifested? What if the financial freedom you've been seeking suddenly appeared? Not through struggle, not through force, but through the natural conformity of reality to your consciousness. And the beautiful thing is, it doesn't have to take a month. It doesn't have to take a week. It can happen the moment your consciousness truly shifts. The moment you fully accept your desire as already accomplished, reality has no choice but to reflect that acceptance. Time is not the factor. Persistence in the assumption is the factor. Faithfulness to the new state is the factor. And you have complete control over both of those things. I want you to understand something deeply. Every single limitation you experience is self-imposed. Every single barrier you face is a barrier of consciousness. There is no external force holding you back. There is no cosmic conspiracy keeping you from your good. There is only your own consciousness, and your own consciousness is the only thing you need to change. When you change your consciousness, when you shift from the state of wanting to the state of having, from the state of seeking to the state of possessing, from the state of hoping to the state of knowing, everything shifts with you. Think about the people who have achieved great things in this world. Think about the inventors, the artists, the entrepreneurs, the healers. What do they all have in common? They all saw something in their imagination before it existed in physical reality. They all assumed the reality of their vision before there was any evidence of it. They all persisted in their assumption despite opposition, despite doubt, despite circumstances that seemed to contradict their vision. And eventually, inevitably, reality conformed to their consciousness. You have that same power. You have that same creative force within you. The only difference between you and those who have manifested their dreams is that they believed in their power and used it. They occupied the state of their wish fulfilled. They persisted. And you can do the same. You can start right now. You can decide right now that you are going to be one of those people who consciously creates their reality instead of unconsciously accepting whatever shows up. And here's something wonderful. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes. The more you see your assumptions harden into facts, the more natural it feels to assume new and greater things. Your faith grows with each success. Your confidence in the law grows with each manifestation. And soon, you're no longer just creating one thing. You're creating your entire life, deliberately, consciously, joyfully. Imagine looking back a year from now and seeing how far you've come. Imagine looking at your life and marveling at all the things that have changed, all the desires that have manifested, all the ways reality has reorganized itself to match your new consciousness. Imagine the gratitude you'll feel. Imagine the joy. Imagine the sense of empowerment that comes from knowing with absolute certainty that you create your reality. That future is available to you. That transformation is possible for you. That life is waiting for you. All you have to do is claim it. All you have to do is assume it. All you have to do is persist. The universe is not withholding anything from you. You are not being tested or punished or taught a lesson. You are simply experiencing the reflection of your own consciousness. Change your consciousness, and you change your experience. It really is that simple. So as we come to a close, I want you to feel something with me. Feel the hope rising in your chest. Feel the excitement of possibility. Feel the power that comes from understanding this truth. You are not powerless. You never have been. You've just forgotten your power. But now you're remembering. Now you're awakening to the truth of who you are. Now you're ready to step into your role as the deliberate creator of your reality. And I'm here to tell you that you're going to succeed. Not because of anything I'm doing, but because of the law. Because consciousness is the only reality. Because your assumptions must harden into facts. Because the universe must obey your consciousness. This is not hope. This is not positive thinking. This is the fundamental nature of reality itself. So go forth with confidence. Go forth with faith. Go forth with the absolute knowing that you are the operant power in your world. Your imagination is the creative force. Your assumptions are the blueprint. Your persistence is the guarantee. Everything else will take care of itself. The universe will handle the details. Reality will reorganize itself. Circumstances will shift. Opportunities will appear. People will show up. Resources will materialize. All in perfect timing. All in perfect order. All in response to your consciousness. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your opportunity to reclaim your power and transform your life. Don't wait another day. Don't waste another moment in doubt or fear or limitation. Start now. Assume now. Persist now. And watch as your entire world transforms before your eyes. Because it will. Because it must. Because that's the law. Thank you.